Hello, hello, Dr. Pamela here. And let me tell you, I am so excited to see you today and excited for our conversation that we'll have today around creative ways to support working parents at work. Now, this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I have to share with you that I actually used to work in corporate for many years. It was actually over a span of 10 to 12 years that I worked in corporate, and the sun just went down, so it got dark here all of a sudden. And so when I worked in corporate, one of the things I remembered was really enjoying the work that I did and had a career where I was on a trajectory to do some amazing things in my area, which was in finance at the time. All of that, however, changed once I became a mom. As a mom, I found that it was more difficult to keep up with the things that I had to do at work, along with the responsibilities that I had at home. And so I actually made a big decision at the time to leave corporate. And part of that was because I did not feel supported as a working mom. It was a challenge to keep up with everything at work. And also, too, I just felt that I didn't have the support to really be successful as a working mom. And so, with that being said, it's been almost to that day that I have been devoted and actively supporting working parents with balancing work and life decisions that they have to make and really feel passionate about this area of businesses supporting working parents. Not everyone has a choice to leave and do something else or even want to go out and start their own business. So, supporting them in their workplace can really make a difference for companies still continuing to thrive, to have employees who are excited and engaged about the work that they're doing without feeling like they cannot show up in their authentic self and be recognized as a parent as well. So, what I have for you today is to share some creative ways that your organization can support working parents. One of the things that I want to start with is, I'm going to share actually several ways that your organization can support working parents. And these are across areas of support. Oftentimes, when we think about supporting working parents, a lot of the focus is if you have a younger child, a child who is a newborn up to about third grade. Many companies will have support for parents who have children who are younger. And then after that, the support usually falls off. You don't see as much support if you have a child that's older. And so, several of the tips that I want to share with you today and these different ways will actually be for those who have older children. We've all heard about child care support or providing child care on site, having backup care. That's one way that's been around for many years. And so I want to talk about some ways that perhaps you haven't thought about or your company may even be starting to explore initially. And so these are just a few ways that I'll be sharing. There are tons of others, and later on in the upcoming weeks, I may be doing a part two for this session. but we'll start out with these initial ones that I have for you. Before we jump completely in, let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm Dr. Pamela Ellis, and I am founder of Compass Education Strategies and Compass College Advisory. And in our work, we support parents with everything related to educating their children and work with a number of organizations as well and work with them in a couple of the ways that I'll be sharing with you. So this will be some great tips that you can start using almost immediately in your organization. So the first one that I'm going to start out with is a simple one that you can start right away. And this is something that can apply to parents or almost anyone in your organization. And that is having tech tools that actually allow parents to manage work calendars as well as personal calendars. And that's a simple one, a number of different tools that can be used to allow that. And that's a way of supporting working parents because in many cases, they'll have things that may have to get done during the day that are not necessarily work related, that are for personal reasons. And so if there's a way to manage that in a digital form, as far as keeping their calendar, keep helping them stay organized, that could be one of the ways that you support working parents. And it's simply using a tech tool that allows them to do that. One of the tools actually that we use in our organization is Slack. And that can even be set up where you have Slack or maybe a Teams channel that's for parents in your organization. That could be a tech tool that also can be used in that regard to support working parents. So technology is great because it allows you to be able to scale it in terms of the number of parents that are in your organization and keep things more streamlined, not only for them in their work life, but also personal as well. So opening up those channels. A second one is parent ERGs. Now, I have seen these grow in recent years. And I was recently called on because one of the organizations, healthcare organizations that I work with, what they were initiating was a working moms ERG. And so it was even more specific than a parent's ERG overall, but a working mom's ERG. Many of their employees are women. And so they were setting up this ERG so that they could have community for supporting one another. And even within the ERG, within the parent ERG that they were starting, there was a way for working moms there to share resources, have others to talk to about some of the things that they're dealing with, and they have them across the grades. So some of them have children that are younger, and they could talk about some of the resources and different challenges or exciting wins that they've had with their younger children. And then also for those who have older children, even sharing resources about schools or after school program resources that they know of. And so it being that community where those working moms in this situation, so other parents, were part of an ERG to support each other. So an employee resource group. So those are two. One is the tech tools that you use, perhaps having a digital parent community on a channel in Slack or using tech tools for calendaring for work and personal. And then the second one is a parent ERG. The third one is slightly different, and I haven't seen this one as frequently or as often or as in many companies, and that is parent mentorship programs. And so with that, it's matching parents, new parents with parents who are more experienced in the organization, so that again, having that one-to-one relationship, being able to talk through some of the work-life balance challenges that may come up and how that was resolved in the past can be a really good result of having parent mentorship program. And I know for some organizations, certainly if it's a larger organization, that may be a lot to organize and put together. And so still, if you have just a few who are open to volunteering as experienced parents, and then for those who are coming in, who are newer parents, being able to be matched with them, it's still possible, even at a larger organization. Perhaps it starts within a department, or it starts within a particular site as a way to get it going. But a parent mentorship program can be an invaluable way to really support working parents. The fourth one that I'd like to give you, and again, as I'm sharing these, any questions that come up, please put your questions in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. The fourth one is scholarships for the children of your employees. And this is another one that I worked on more closely with an organization. And with them, they were setting up the parameters for the scholarship and also providing support for obtaining the scholarship. And I think any organization that has these set up, there are a number of ways that they can be done. And you can always start them smaller, and gathering that information around the ages of employees' children can help with just knowing what the pipeline is for the scholarships that would be offered. I mean, that's one of the first things that I have asked when I've been consulting on projects where companies are establishing these scholarships, is really getting a sense for the demographics and knowing when would these scholarships be distributed. Would they be distributed throughout college as well, or is it more for freshmen? Is it for only four-year colleges? What are some of the parameters or criteria around these scholarships? But offering these scholarships can be such a strong way to support working parents with the rising costs of tuition. And so providing that as an incentive, those scholarships for employees' children. And then for number 5, the fifth one that I'll share is actually college assistance. This is one that I, as you may be aware, am very much involved in with companies, and providing this service for their employees who are working parents is providing college assistance. And that's done through webinars, it's done through even office hours counseling with employees, but a way to really reduce the stress that can come through the college admissions process. One of the things that's often not known about this process for working parents is that it takes them over 300 hours of their time with helping their teen navigate that process. And when you think about that much time and what that means for productivity, what it means for stress that's added, we're talking millions. millions of dollars as far as the impact that it can have to a company's bottom line. And so providing that college assistance is going to be an extremely valuable return on the investment to offer that support for employees. So 5 creative ways that I just shared with you around supporting working parents at work. And yes, indeed, there are others for sure. These are 5 that I wanted to start with to give you a taste for some of the things that you can start to think about within your company. And they are ways that can have immeasurable benefit from an engagement standpoint and really enhancing the work environment and also productivity, especially for your employees. And so I know for myself, it would have made all the difference for staying within my organization at that time. And I know as I work with working parents on a daily basis in my organization, I hear the challenges that they may have with balancing work, balancing life, and the myriad of obligations that they have. And so having their employer meet them halfway and support them can be a win-win situation. And I would call it a win-win-win. It's a win for the employer, it's a win for the employee, it's a win for their, peace of mind as well. So it makes a boundless difference. So I look forward to sharing with you next time. I do have a great resource that has some of the data that's associated with supporting working parents. You can send me a message, and that could be support, which would be just keyword support. Send it to my message box here on LinkedIn, and I look forward to talking with you again. Take care.